All right, hello everyone. Eric Marks, FindingMiddleEarth.com, and welcome back to episode 3 of my Instagram weekly photo critiques. So if you guys want to find out how you can get your photos critiqued, you just basically post a photo on Instagram and use my hashtag FMEcritique, and then that will allow me to search through all of the photos associated with that hashtag every week, and then I might pick yours for one weekly video. So before we get started, I do want to mention something, and I hate to sound like an infomercial, like I'm trying to sell you guys something, but I've gotten so many emails ever since I've started this weekly photo critique with people just sending me links to their portfolio and random photos, and they say, hey, I love your critiques, let me know what you think about my portfolio, and please check out my website and do this. And like 6 months ago, I did that all the time. I did it for free, and it was great, but I'm so overwhelmed now. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I get about 100 to 150 emails, YouTube comments, Facebook messages, like it just built up every week with questions. And please don't stop. I love that. Eventually I do get to all of them. But I can't, spend so much time on every single email about portfolio critiquing, or I would never get anything done at all. So for those people that really, really want their portfolio critiqued, and it's like a priority, I did create a product on my website. Over at findingmiddleearth.com/store, there is a detailed portfolio critique. And basically, I allow up to 20 images, 20 of your best images, to be submitted. And within 3 to 5 days after the purchase, you get a personalized video where I go through a detailed critique on every single image. And I even critique your portfolio, like how it's displayed, the website, how it looks, how easy it is to get to, how easy it is to view, the iFlow of your website and your portfolio. So if you want that, that is available to you. If you would rather not buy that and just keep submitting them on Instagram, that is perfectly fine too. There's no pressure at all. Again, I hate being like this, robotic infomercial, but yeah, that is available to you if you want that. So let's go ahead and get started on the critique. First image here. I think this looks like London to me. Okay, not 100% sure, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to go ahead and throw up the person's Instagram account that photographed this. So right off the bat, the first thing I see, obviously, is the Coca-Cola sign. I love the reflection, all right, down here, the reflection and the Coca-Cola sign. Those two things immediately drew me in. They're beautiful. I love, just a quick tip for everyone, it's great to shoot lights and like nightscapes and cityscapes at night. When it rains, because when it rains, everything reflects off of everything and it glows, and it just makes a beautiful thing. I personally love shooting Disney World when it rains, because all of the crazy lights everywhere reflect off of the ground, and it's beautiful. So great use of the light and the reflections there. There's honestly not a whole lot that I would change about this image. So of course my eye goes right there. Great job on the reflections. I like the motion. You can tell that this was at a slowish shutter speed. My guess would be like maybe half a second or something. You can see these people are in motion, and this guy over here is in motion. And then I kind of like this guy just kind of oddly standing right here with his, with his luggage and suitcase. So I like those things. So, it adds life and movement and energy into the shot. I like that. So what I don't like, and what I feel is kind of distracting to the composition, right off the bat, where my eye keeps going now, is I would just, and this is a small thing, but I would have clone stamped that out, that little screw poking through the rail here. And the reason why is because this rail is kind of your main leading line in this image. This rail really starts in the foreground, and it just shoots your eye over here so that you start to notice this stuff, and then you kind of make your way back around, to the reflection again. But yeah, that screw is just kind of, I don't know, it kind of annoys my eye. It kind of like just keeps getting caught up on that. So I like all of that. I'm not a big fan of the screw. I love the, the motion and the people and everything. I think that this whole area right here, I'm going to draw a big circle around it. This whole area, I don't think needs to be there. I think it's, if it was a little bit tighter of a composition or pointed a little bit more to the right, I think it would have been better. This just kind of doesn't make sense compositionally to me. I do like this sign that says Public Subway, but all of this down here, I feel like it's just kind of messy to the composition. This guy is, wearing a really bright blue jacket, and so it kind of does draw my eye over there. there's just not a whole lot going on over here. So I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I think your main subjects are this building, and then this big, of course, sign here, the big light sign that's glowing down here. So what if let's try something in real time here. What if we cropped this in and just left the lamppost right there, all right? And maybe even cropped it up a little bit, all right? Something like that. Let's see how that looks. Let's lock that in. To see immediately, I think, and again, all these critiques are just my opinion, I think that looks like world better because there's not that extra layer, you know, of stuff over there. It just kind of stops at the lamppost here, which the lamppost, in my opinion, I think is a nice little touch. When I think England and London and the streets of London, I think, like old, cool looking Gothic lampposts. So I like the lamppost, especially now that that's on the edge and you don't have that other stuff over to the left. The leading line still works because the line still leads you over here, and then you kind of go up to the lamppost and back around, which is what you're supposed to do. I really like how this is lit up here. I don't know if you kind of added some exposure in that during post-processing or if it was just that way naturally, but I like the Coca-Cola tickets on sale thing. The only other thing I would say is I feel like the composition was a little too tight with the sky right here. I feel like there's not enough room right here with the sky. So, it's not a big deal because there is a nice open area here, and it's not like the sky was anything special this way or this day, obviously, because you can tell it was raining. It was just gray, but I feel like it's just a little crowded right here. I feel like there needs to be maybe another few inches of room with the sky there, which I don't know what lens we're using. I don't know. What the situation was like. Maybe you didn't, you couldn't point the camera up. I'm not sure. But I think that would have made it just a tad bit better. But I think the biggest fix was cropping it. I think if you'd have cropped it in right there or just done it, on location, I think that would have made it worlds better. So the great thing is it's an easy fix. I think I just fixed it by just cropping it here, and it's just much less distracting. Now we're really focused on the sign, the buildings, and then the people walking. So, and then of course, clone stamping out. If you clone stamp out the little screw down here poking up. Trying to think of anything else. Because again, I don't look at these beforehand, by the way, before these videos, so you're getting my thoughts in real time. I just quickly take a look at them on Instagram and then email the people and ask them if I can have the JPEG for the video, but I don't study the image. So you're seeing me attack this in real time. I talked about small details in my last critique video. So, I might have gotten rid of this little power line, this little line in between the two buildings, just because it's, I don't know, it just doesn't need to be there. Let's see, any other detail things. I don't know. I mean, it's a good image. I like this. This is really good. You could classify this as street photography or lifestyle. I like this. So yeah, there's a few minor things there. Well done. I like it. So let's move on to the next image. All right, which is this sunset here. Okay, so this one I have a few things to say. And this one is very subjective because some people really like this whole silhouetted sunset thing where it makes sense, and some people don't. So, maybe it's just, some people just don't like it as a style. They don't like silhouetted things with sunsets behind them. I do. So well, first off, I'll go ahead and put the person's Instagram up right now so you can see who took the photo. And first thing I have to say, beautiful sunset, beautiful capture of the light. Okay, the exposure was really nice because nothing's burnt out here. It's very, very beautiful capture of the oranges and the pinks. The blues are very nice. You didn't ruin the blues in post-processing. So many people in post-processing take the blue sky and make it this dark, ink colored blue, and I hate that. So the blues are beautiful, the oranges and the clouds are beautiful, and then of course all of the color down here, all down here, I think is just absolutely gorgeous. So well done on capturing the color. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of the best way to attack this. So it works as a silhouette. All right, the whole palm tree silhouette. If a few things were to happen. So let's talk through a couple of options here. So the biggest distracting elements in here, let's zoom in, okay, are the fact that the sun is peeking through these trees and putting highlights on all of these, what looks like cars or people. So yeah, all down here and all through here and all through here, it's just kind of backlighting all of this stuff. And here's maybe like a little bit of a house right here. So there's a lot of little things in the foreground that are taking away from the beauty of the silhouetted palm trees, in my opinion. There's a lot of little tiny distractions. Look, all throughout here as well. This little light over here, yeah, so I think there's a lot of tiny distractions in the foreground that need to be completely blacked out. So how do we do that, right? You're probably wondering, well, do you clone stamp it? Do you just crank the shadows all the way down? The easiest thing to do in a situation like this is to grab a brush. All right, we'll make the brush bigger. What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Let's go to black. All right, and we're gonna make the brush big and soft, and we're just gonna paint straight black in the immediate foreground here, okay? I'll just cover that up, a little bit of the house there. All right, I'm gonna cover up some of these little holes where the sun's peeking through. All right, we're up there. And now look, so immediately that is way better. Okay, let's undo that so you can see it, and then we'll do a redo. All right, boom. So all that's gone. All the distraction there, gone. That already just like fixed so much for me. Okay, the biggest issue now is that, again, I like these silhouetted sunsets, but I don't like when you have the main subject matter down here and then a bunch of empty space up here. And not that it's necessarily empty, because it is, you know, beautiful sky. I just feel like the image is kind of offset compositionally, because again, the main subject, the main show is this beautiful sun, you know, right here. So I think this would have been nice as kind of a pano crop. So how do we fix that? Because if we actually did a pano crop, all right, let's do this. Let's like crop it down to something like right here. If we did that, what's the biggest issue? Well, now we lose, let's undo that so we can see, we lose this great cloud up here. Okay, there's a great cloud right up here. Oh, let me go back to my brush layer. There's a great cloud right up here, all right, and clouds right over here. And of course here. And if we crop down to like right here where we were, then we lose those beautiful things. So how do we, you know, fix this and get this all into one nice looking pano crop to where this whole silhouette thing works? Well, let me show you the easiest thing to do. Let's duplicate your layer, and let's go get a clone stamp tool, all right? And let's do this. Let's clone stamp starting over here, all right, with this thing, and let's bring it down here. And basically, we are just going to clone stamp in the top of the photo over what's already here. All right. Boom. So we've just created another layer, if you will, of this photo, and we can crop now. And we still have, we can crop that. We'll crop this side in just a little bit. And boom. How about that? We have now just done this before and after. We have taken those beautiful clouds and basically just reproduced them down here. So now all the subject matter of this photo is into this much nicer little center point, right? We have the orange cloud on the top. We have the orange and pink mass sunset, you know, right here, which is just beautiful. This whole bit here, all these little palm trees right here work really well. And then, of course, you have your big palm trees here and big palm trees here. So it just works. It's like 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. Those are your subjects right there. Palm tree and sun, palm tree, and then cloud, cloud. And in my opinion, that just took your starting image, which in my opinion maybe would have been like a 2-star image. This just took it to like a 4-star postcard. Okay, I mean, this is nice. So I like this. I think, well, maybe not a postcard because of the crop, but let's say a really nice Facebook cover photo for a business, you know, that maybe is close to the beach, with a nice, you know, the business could put a nice little logo and some text up here. So I like this. This is much nicer now. But I want to, the whole point I'm trying to make is think about these things when you're taking the photo so that you don't have to crop so much. Maybe you could have shot this in a panorama, right? on location, you can start thinking about these things. So you can actually shoot a few vertical shots and stitch these together and make this like a 60 megapixel photo instead of taking what might have been a I don't know, 16 or 20 megapixel image, whatever it is, and then, you know, taking the megapixels off. But I think this is way better. So don't feel bad about cropping your images if it makes the image good. I think this is great now. So, you know, again, well done on capturing the light. I think that was very smart. So this is option number one, right? Is fixing the image. This is great. What would have been option number two if I would have been there with my camera and I saw this beautiful sky? I would have tried to find a point where I could photograph just the sky with no foreground and no distractions, and then I would just keep it as a beautiful sky in a folder on my computer for later use. So if you photograph some high-end architecture and high-end interiors like I do, I have a whole folder of skies where I just use the skies if I can't get good light on a certain day that I'm scheduled to shoot, you know, a high-end home or a high-end business, because you know, when you schedule to shoot businesses, you're never assured that the light is going to be good that day. So, you know, build a collection of skies, and you can use these in other photos. You can do sky replacements. So that's also another option. It's a little more complicated option, but it is an option if the sky is just like too good to be true and you have to photograph it. So those are a couple options for you. Again, my opinion, but I think that just made this photo worlds better. So overall, well done. Nice capture of the light, and thank you so much for participating. All right, so the last one, before I go to the last one, I'm going to say this. So my first critique video, I showed a photo that I thought was like near perfect. And so I picked another one of those, okay? Because I'll go ahead and throw up this person's Instagram now. Let's go ahead and go to this photo. All right, so this photo. I'll go ahead and throw up their Instagram right now, all right? So you can see, you need to follow this person, because this photo stood out of all the FME critique photos. I just looked at it and it instantly made me happy. I don't know why. This photo has this effect on me. So I don't think I would change, and I know this is a critique video, but I'm using this as an example. I don't think I would change one thing about this photo. This photo is brilliant in every way. The expression of the girl is brilliant. Okay, you have to find the right expression for this kind of photo to work. The whole photo is right here to me. Actually, let me back that up. It's right here. The whole photo is all about this. Why do I say that? Because there is love in those eyes. That is a very, very sweet smile. And the only kind of sweet smile that a really good photographer could get, okay? So either this photographer is brilliant at connecting with the subject, or else this photographer has chemistry with this person. Maybe this is the photographer's wife or a family member or something like that, because you can see that this subject, this girl in the photo, has some serious chemistry with the camera. And I don't know. The photo speaks to me through that little circle right there. Those eyes just make me happy. It's such a great smile. It's infectious. You know, when I was looking at it, it just made me smile. And I love the fact that her toboggan says love. Okay, so if I would have taken this image, I would have contacted whatever company makes this toboggan, and I would have said, look, I got this photo. You guys want to use this and license this for retail work, because this photo looks to me like I would be walking into a retail shop and I would see it blown up on a wall. And this photo would be the one that they use to sell some winter clothing. It looks that good to me. The bokeh in the background is unreal. It's beautiful. The way the snow was captured was beautiful. It's hard to get the snow to look like that, like those tiny little white bokeh balls. And it's great. Almost everything about this image is great. The only two little things that I would change, and this is just me because I'm kind of obsessive about distractions, is I might have, clone stamped that really bright snow out. I might have clone stamped that really bright piece out, just because those two things are really, really, bright and overpowering. Other than that, I think this image is just flawless. I love the lighting on her face. I don't know whose decision it was to make her do this, but I love that the snowball is covering her mouth and some of her nose, because it really draws you to the eyes. Her eyes say it all. It says, I'm happy, maybe I'm in love, I'm loving the snow. It just speaks to the viewer, because this photo just makes me happy. So well done, very, very well done on this photo. Yeah, I like this. So you'll notice that every once in a while on these critique videos, I'll add in a photo like this, where it's kind of an example of what I think a beautiful, just like 9 out of 10 photo looks like. And this is one of them. This is just an absolutely beautiful, brilliant, brilliant photo. Yep. So anyway, well done, well done. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you guys want to have a chance at getting your photo critiqued, use my hashtag FMEcritique on Instagram. Other than that, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you would like to stay up to date on all of my photography videos and free tutorials, please consider subscribing by clicking on my face. And if you would like to find out more about me and how to improve your photography, visit my website at findingmiddleearth.com.